Welcome to Himsl Games, everybody. I used to make many videos where I rant about games, exposing all of their flaws. And, well, this game is very dear to my heart. And sadly it has many flaws, and I am very disappointed. But I'm going to do my best to be as constructive as possible, and I've made a simple list of things that will almost certainly improve the quality of the game if they listen to me. So please share this video with everyone so they can be aware of the flaws in this game and how to fix them. Let's get right into it. Number 1. Getting off the horse is incredibly unreliable if you press it while attacking, getting hit. Sometimes if you do it while there's a little pebble on the floor, the character will just fully ignore your desire to get off that damn horse. Unacceptable. It's this kind of stuff that makes the game feel really unpolished. The animation of getting off the horse should be able to override almost any circumstance. You should be able to do it in air. I'm sure you could program it in so it still prevents you from jumping onto even higher places that you shouldn't be able to get to. I know this is probably going to be controversial, but I think you should also be able to interrupt some of the attacks that take way too long from horseback. Because, come on, it's a horse. It's not the same way as when you're committing your whole body to an attack. You're just standing on your horse swinging your sword. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to stop that and get off it, okay? Let me get off the horse, please. I actually kinda like the feeling of getting on the horse and getting off the horse. It's great when you're able to do it while moving, but it just needs to be more reliable so it happens every time you press it, and then it'll be perfect. It'll be chef's kiss, and that's what I want this game to be at. Number 2, also a horse problem. If you've played the game, you will have noticed that your horse is suicidal and it loves to run off cliffs. My research has shown that this is unintentional. The horse has actually a 180-degree turn animation that should prevent you from falling off cliffs, but it's actually kinda hard to trigger it. See, if you are exactly pressing the opposite direction that the horse is facing, it will play the animation and it's good. But if you are 45 degrees off, the horse will instead run into the direction it's facing and only slowly turn into the desired direction. What's even worse is if you merely tap the button, the horse will not even bother turning into the desired direction and instead just edge closer to the cliff as it craves death. Meaning that if you look at me here in this footage, I'm tabbing backwards and the horse does the exact opposite of what my button press would indicate that I want to do. If I turn the camera a few degrees, it would do the turn animation with a tap of the button, which would prevent this tragedy. But no, in this sweet spot of mechanical failure, it is super unreliable. Upload the video if your horse has plunged you to your death because of this issue, and now you know why. And the fix is easy. If you tap the direction, the game needs to remember the direction that you've pressed. Right now, if you tap the direction, the horse takes a step forward without turning. But the fact that I tap the direction would indicate that I'm more interested in rotating than in taking a step. So the horse must have a little step animation that it can do to slightly rotate itself instead of fully galloping forwards, you know? Alternatively, you could just make it so it walks forwards but also turns. Like, right now it stops turning as soon as you release the button, but it doesn't stop stepping. So you gotta, well, as I said, remember that direction and keep it turning, but I guess doing an animation might be smoother. Well, either way, there's a way to fix it. I personally know people that have fallen to their death because of this pesky bug, and it's an easy fix, so they should do it. There's no downside to fixing it. Number 3, this is an equally easy one. It's about weapon upgrading. It's entirely possible that if you're trying to beat the game quickly, you won't find the areas that have the low-level smithing stones, so you can become locked out of upgrading your weapons. I know that there's some merchants that sell low-level smithing stones, but they're equally easy to miss. This is trash. You should never be unable to upgrade your weapons because your smithing stones are too high level. Give us an option to split our smithing stones into lower level ones. The game would be made better if I could avoid going into those mines entirely, since they are the worst kind of copy-pasted dungeons in the game, but not being able to split stones means that you might grind medium level mines and still never get the desired stones, and you won't know why, because you have to go to the really easy low level mines, which are gonna bore the hell out of you anyways, and that's just awful, and you should feel bad. And even the way to buy infinite of those small stones is also in one of those low level mines. So this is just generally awful and needs to be fixed. There you go, 3 ways to greatly improve the game in ways that would not have any downsides. Alright, number 4. Let me open the God Tarnished map. You had this fixed in previous games. Make it so that the teleport animation is slow and can be interrupted by enemies, but allow us to trigger it anywhere. Then you can also allow us to open the map anywhere, and you won't have a terrible stupid game where you press the map button and it doesn't work half the time. This is straight up trash. I cannot fathom how people like this game where you can't even open the map because there's a low level zombie that has no chance of harming you, especially if you're on the horse, and yet it blocks you from opening the map. What? People are way too forgiving with this kind of sloppy design. Go into the comments, go defend to me how being unable to open the map is a problem having to do with skills, and I need to get good, okay? You Maidenless fanboys, I won't accept this. This game will straight up be better if it stops wasting your goddamn time with being unable to open the map. The only way that you can open the map is if you run really far away from this low-level zombie, or if you kill it. But by then you will have moved, so the map will not even be in the same place with your magical GPS horse, and it just makes the whole experience worse. Fix it. Number 5. Chariot dungeons are cancer on this world, but they can be improved easy if you make the chariot deal slightly less damage. I didn't even know that you could survive the chariots for the first 100 hours of playing this game. Dying to the chariots, straight up awful. There isn't even anything good in those dungeons half the time. You really don't need to be this toxic as to have an instant killing, sloppy hitbox chariot just rolling up and down all the time. Just like, this is so bad. The boulders in Dark Souls 1 didn't kill you instantly, but these stupid chariots do. No! Stop! The perfect amount of damage for these horrible enemies to deal to you would probably be something around 80% of your health, no matter how much health you have, but I guess it has to scale with it somehow, so it would probably be like 40% of your health if you're like max HP, but it's 80% if you have no HP from the no upgraded HP. That's how it needs to work. I'm sorry, if you think that's wrong, you're wrong. This is how it needs to work. Like, losing that much of your health would be really bad anyways, and you'd knock down and probably under the chariot, but just knowing that you can survive it will greatly remove the cancer out of this part of the game, okay? Just trust me on this one. Number 6, ladders. Allow us to jump up ladders. It's a little piece of polish that would make the game feel a lot better. If you're mid-air and you collide with a ladder and you press the direction of the ladder, then you should be climbing that ladder. Character, grab the ladder, use your hands, you can do it. Also make it so that if I press use in front of the ladder, it always uses the ladder. Even if there's a message there, even if you've opened a message and pressing use would close the message. No, I don't want to close the message, I want to use the ladder. That's why I'm in front of the ladder game. Ladder trolling messages had their day in the sun. They are everywhere. Now you can get rid of them. It's not funny anymore. Every time you see a ladder, there's a message at the bottom, making it hard for you to climb the ladder. This is sloppy, horrible, stupid, not funny anymore. Get rid of it by adding the jump feature that I wanted, so you can jump up ladders, and making it so that pressing use in front of the ladder uses the ladder. Number 7, display clear dungeons on the map. If I kill the boss of a dungeon, that should show up on the map. It's a huge waste of time if you come to a dungeon and you aren't sure if you've cleared it already. Add a little indicator that tells me that I've killed the boss. Also, just by the way, have you noticed how stupid it looks when you have a dungeon and then you put the icon of the bonfire over it? Now you don't know what that dungeon is. I mean, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but like, it probably might be good if if these two things weren't like clash. Maybe you should move the bonfire down. Maybe no, you should move the dungeon so it's not overlapping with the bonfire symbol, actually. Like, I can't believe you did that and you thought, oh, this is fine, we'll just put them here and then we'll put the bonfires right over them, so it's perfectly cool, right? I mean, you'll be confused, but okay. Number 8, NPC Archers can see you through walls. Once they've seen you, that is. This has always been like this in Dark Souls, but it's really stupid now that these archers often have huge areas where they can shoot you. And it's really stupid because there's now a jump button. So now technically if you're behind cover and then you jump out of the cover, then you could get sniped immediately, even though the character shooting you would have no idea of knowing where you are. And it's really bad. And I hate it. It's not good. I mean, there's no easy way to fix it, but it's not good. Number 9.
2 number 9s. A number 9 large.
I hate the stakes. They're supposed to respawn you, but they're pretty unpredictable. Sometimes if you fall off the map near a boss fight, it won't count. Sometimes if you fall off a cliff, there's a stake at the bottom, it respawns you near that bottom. Doesn't make any sense. I guess it's a shortcut, but it's also a bug. The solution here is to make it so that whenever you die in the world where there's a road and a horse, then you just respawn near the nearest road, okay? Just have an animation where the horse rides in with you on it. I don't have time to respawn at the bonfire. It's stupid because if I hadn't lit the bonfire, then it wouldn't be able to respawn me there. And it's just a huge pain in the ass trying to get back to where I dropped my souls. And that's what the stakes are here to prevent. But they only prevent it if you die to a boss most of the time. It's really unreliable, okay? It doesn't make any sense to me. So please, like, if you're in the world, just let me respawn on the horse. It just makes sense, okay? You can trust me that I'm able to ride the horse back to where I was. It's not hard, it's just tedious, okay? Please. There's a little icon on the screen that tells you when you're in the range of the stake, but I don't think it's predictable enough whether or not you'll still be in there if you die. Like this one and also the next point will have some downsides to fixing it, but I think it's worth it. Well, you might disagree with me, but whatever, there's still more than 10 points that are worth fixing 100% on this list. Anyways, number 10, Vigor. Give me more starting HP. This is honestly mind-blowing. You have 300 starting HP. Then you have 1,000 HP at level 30 Vigor. That's 20 levels of Vigor, making you 3 times more tanky. This is straight up trash design. If people know that Vigor was this good, then they would level Vigor first. But even if everyone knows about it, then it's still totally unacceptable because it means that all other stats are worth so much less than Vigor. Stamina doesn't increase threefold for 20 levels, neither does FP. Essentially, HP works totally unreasonable within the design of this game, and it's different from how the other games before it did it, and it's just worse, okay? This is what greatly makes this game so unfun when you realize that you've been playing super hard mode for no reason. All you had to do was put 20 levels into Vigor. Honestly, I'd make huge changes here. Speedrunners be damned. Doubling the starting HP while keeping the max HP the same would be smart. This is how you did it in Dark Souls 1 and it was good. Okay? You don't make an RPG where one stat rules all the other stats. Yes, technically this makes the game a lot easier, but grinding 5 levels to make the game equally easy is not that hard, okay? This just fixes the balancing, and it's just wild to me that you had this perfect system from Dark Souls 1 and you just completely broke it for no reason. It's almost as if you just mistyped the amount of HP that you're supposed to have. And I know you can't fix it now because the speedrunners already did their runs with the little health at soul level 1, and they're gonna complain like maidenless little crybabies for their mother when you change it and you make it easier for the people that actually want to play the game reasonably. So many times when people complain about this game, all you hear is like, level Vigor, level Vigor. How about you level Vigor, game? How about you give us a reasonable level of Vigor by default, huh? Doesn't make any sense to triple our health by putting in 20 levels. It's just crazy. You don't give the starting characters brittle bone disease for no reason. Number 11. Make low level shields better. The fact that shields eat your entire stamina bar when you use them is bad. I know they still protect you even if you run out of stamina, but they just make the game so boring because you just run out and now you're unable to do anything for a while. And I might be alone with this, but I feel that shields are just terrible. Okay, I feel like when you start playing this game, shields suck. Which doesn't make any sense because Dark Souls is known for being a game where shields actually work. And now you've made Elden Ring a game where shields rarely work. And I gotta say, I actually made a character with a great shield and it's so good. Because when you level the shield and you level your stamina and you level your endurance, then the shields suddenly start working. And you wouldn't have known that, would you? Because the starting shields wouldn't have worked. So this is a great mechanic, but it needs to be more accessible for low-level characters and low-level shields, I think. I mean, you might disagree on this one too, but I mean, I feel like shields aren't used enough in this game, and this is why. Because they're too expensive stat-wise. Please fix. Number 12. Pressing Alt F4 doesn't work properly. It closes the game, but then it still has like a broken version of the game running, so whenever you try to run it the next time, it says the game's still running. Oops. And don't tell me that pressing Alt F4 is bad, because I'm not gonna wait for 2 loading screens just so that I can exit to the desktop, you dummies! And they actually fixed this one already, but I just wanted to rant about it, okay? Number 13, let me favorite weapons. It takes too long to change your weapons because you have to cycle through all of the weapons that you found. In Dark Souls 1, you could change the order of things and thereby putting your favorite weapons at the top. It's unacceptable that you don't have something similar. Number 14. Lelocon doesn't work well on bosses that fly into the air, and this is trash, and you didn't need to make bosses that jump all over the place if you couldn't come up with a better lock-on system. Improve the system. It can't be hard since you literally cannot make it worse. Make the camera zoom out, maybe if the enemy is in the air, so you can actually see your character. Maybe if the character is directly above you, then you don't need to rotate the camera, okay? Maybe just chill a little bit. Maybe have like an option for rotating the camera slower so it doesn't go all over the place. Like, there's multiple ways of fixing it, and the fact that you haven't done any, but you added all these stupid bosses that jump all over the place is horrible. Number 15. Invaders are too weak, and it's too easy to co-op. I see that you made the finger remedy drop fairly rarely, as if it was a valuable item. But then you made it so you could find a flower that crafts into it literally anywhere. So it's really clear to me that this flower should be way harder to craft. Probably should take 10 flowers to craft one of those co-op items. Now you probably wonder why I want to make co-op harder. It's because invaders are the counterpart to co-op. Invaders make the game harder, co-op makes the game easier. So whenever you get invaded and killed, then you should be punished, you know? Because co-op is so easy, and invaders can only invade when you're already co-oping. So it would only make sense that you would be punished for dying in co-op by losing the privilege of co-op until you find more of the item. And you also have to make invaders stronger, because there's always 2 people when you invade. It's so rare that there's just 1 person. So it's always 1v2, sometimes 1v3, because it always summons those hunters that hunt the invaders. And you can only have 1 invader. That's horrible. Make it so that there can be more than 1 invader, and also make the invaders slightly stronger. How about letting the invaders have rune arcs active? It's pretty bad that the people getting invaded might have them active, but the invaders can't have them active. It's awful. Please. This is the best part about Dark Souls was the invasion system, and it's still here, so you agree, but it's awful, so what the hell? I mean, whatever, I'm sure you'll add like a better PvP mode eventually. But please, I mean, I'd love to invade, but it's just so painful. There's always so many enemies. It's so hard to ever kill anyone. At least you should give us like 1 area where we could always invade, you know? 1 area where people can get invaded despite having no co-op on. That would be amazing. And that would be so smart, because this would be a feature that you could easily implement in this game that has way too many areas anyways. So just put that in, it'll be great. Put 1 area like that in. Alright, the last few things are PC stuff only, so if you're a Maidenless gamepad user, you don't need to listen to the rest. Well, maybe you should anyways. The thing about the horse is pretty important. If you're going to go ahead and tell me that playing with mouse and key is wrong, then why don't you just take a huge dump and eat that whole shit, you know? Just do it. I'm so fucking sick of it, okay? Dark Souls 3 had pretty good PC controls, okay? And Elden Ring has shitty PC controls. Fix it! Alright, number 1. The map isn't clickable with the mouse. This is literally unacceptable. You had like a trillion sales on PC, and I can't click on the map. Literally no shame. You have no shame. I need to be able to drag the map. I need to be able to click on the map to teleport on the waypoint. Do it! It's a no-brainer. It needs to be in the game. Number 2, hotkeys. You actually have a quick select feature called the pouch, which is actually incredibly poorly implemented. Look at this pouch. You have to press the use key and then an arrow key to select one of the 4 limited options in the pouch. There's supposed to be 6 options, but I haven't figured out what the other 2 are. They're not arrow keys. Anyways, if you turn on your brain, then you will know that I have the right hand on the mouse, the left hand on WASD. Now I have to press the use key, which is E on PC, and I have to press the arrow key, and that's a hotkey? Are you fucking kidding me? That's the opposite of a hotkey. I have to take my hand off the mouse and onto the arrow keys in order to quick select an item. I cannot believe how bad this is. This is so slow, so stupid, so bad. And this is why we need to have a hotkey option for the pouch, you know? Because the pouch, if it was like a bindable key, it would say use key plus arrow key. But I'd rather just have a key. Like 1, 2, 3, those are keys. Give me those, let me bind it. It needs to happen. So yeah, this can actually be fixed incredibly easily by just adding more options for bindable things that are in the game, but let me rebind them to different things on the keyboard. And here's a list of things that need to be bindable on the keyboard. Well, first of all, the pouch hotkeys, like I said. Then changing stance. This is also done by holding down the use button and swinging. So if you accidentally press the use button while attacking, then you switch your stance. You can't believe how many times I accidentally did this. This needs to be rebindable so I can fix it, obviously. Please, it's really important. Anyways, getting on the horse is not a key, it is an item. I cannot believe how stupid that is, by the way. Getting on the horse is an item, not a key. This is about as bad as if the jump key was an item, not a key. So I have to use the pouch, waste the first slot on the pouch to using the horse item, and then I have to press 2 buttons in order to activate the horse. I have to press the use key and the arrow key. So I have to use both hands to use the horse. Oh my god, it could be 1 key that I could bind and it would be good, but it is so stupid. Arguably, I use the horse more than a jump button. Anyways, the next thing that you should also be able to key bind is previous spell. You have a button for next spell, but you don't have a button for previous spell, and you can have up to 10 spells, so if you're on the wrong spell, you might need to press the button 9 times to get to the spell you want, which is trash. Alright, I hope everyone enjoyed this video where I poorly tried to suppress my rage towards this game that to me is clearly 1 step forwards, 2 steps back for the Souls series in order to be constructive. If you want me to talk about all the dumb design decisions that aren't an easy fix like the ones I mentioned in this video, please write an angry comment and tell me to get good. Honestly, this game is so lame sometimes, I would rather die than fight another shitty copy-pasted tree spirit, pulsating tree penis spirit, or disgusting dragon with different color swap effect, which is basically worse than a Skyrim dragon. And why is it that after 10 Soul games, my weapons perfectly bounce off walls, but the enemies can just swing right through the walls, and even stab me through the walls? Have you ever heard of hit scan? An enemy should never be able to hit you through a wall with an attack, with an AoE, nothing. A wall should protect you. Except for the spells that obviously like call lightning down on you. But even those shouldn't work if you're under a roof, okay? Lightning shouldn't be able to hit you if you're under a roof. Use hit scans, you lazy bums. Anyways, I can't wait for the DLC when they actually add interesting multiplayer, and I'm going to play it all day forever when it comes out. I mean, I really do enjoy this game, but like, I hate so many of the decisions that they've made that it really pisses me off. Anyways, subscribe! And like, please, can you leave a like? I changed the channel name and then I haven't uploaded a video, so now, please, I need any engagement I can get, okay? Just get me attention. Please, send this video to all your nasty, annoying friends that tell you to play Elden Ring, okay? I mean, you should probably still play Elden Ring, but you should also send them this video. Well, actually, you should play Dark Souls 3. That one's way better, in my opinion. Yep.